Hello and welcome to A Fish on the Dry. I'm Wright Seneres. This is a show about my year in Germany with my Fulbright scholar wife Alice. I've never lived anywhere but New Jersey, so I'm very much a fish out of water. Except here, they say ein Fisch auf dem Trockenen, which literally translates to a fish on the dry. That is the name of this show. Hello and welcome to the premiere of A Fish on the Dry. Coming up, even though this is the first episode, I'll answer some frequently asked questions. I'll talk about why chewy nougat was important to our first week in Germany. I'll also have more to say about the food here, and then I'll add a little mustard to the whole thing. Here are some frequently asked questions. This is, what about? What about this Fulbright? Alice is a math instructor at Rutgers and a doctoral candidate in math education at Teachers College at Columbia. She got a Fulbright Award to do math education research at the University of Paderborn for a year. I'll check in on the math in future episodes, so stay tuned for that. What about your cat? Tootsie is with us in Germany. She rode in the cabin with us on the plane, in a special carrier that fit under the seat. She's a good traveler, and she didn't meow once. She has settled in nicely so far. I don't think cats have jet lag, because they sleep all the time. Or maybe they're always jet lagged, because they sleep all the time. What about your place in Hamilton? We had been renting the condo we lived in, so we ended our lease at the end of July and moved in with my parents for August. Thanks, Ma and Pa. What about housing in Germany? For the first month, we have an Airbnb place in Lichtenau, about 20 minutes outside of Paderborn. We are currently on the lookout for a place for the rest of the year. Have cat, will travel. What about your stuff? We got a storage unit, our worldly possessions wedged into a 10 by 10 space, like real-life Tetris. What about your cars? We planned on keeping both cars at my parents' house at first, but then my car started needing too many repairs, so I sold it to my mechanic at the end of July. As for Tangerine Dream, she is now living a life of semi-retirement with my dad. What about German? Do you guys speak German? Ich spreche nur ein bisschen Deutsch, aber ich bin jetzt lernen. Alice has had some German, including that 7-week immersion course at Middlebury this summer. What about your jobs? Rutgers is holding Alice's job for her. I ended my employment at Bach Associates, so I've traded in my environmental consulting life for a life as a housefrau. I also started a freelance graphic design, web design, filmmaking business called Wright. I'm going to spend the year building that up, and of course, produce this show for you, the viewing public. What about when we get back? Alice will defend her doctoral dissertation, and then it's oysters for her. I'm going to eat about 100 tasty cakes. Coming up, some real talk about food. But first, our first week in Germany. Our first week in Germany was amazing. We live in Europe. It took a few days to shake off the jet lag and the adrenaline of uprooting our lives and moving to a foreign country with a different language. Everything in the Paderborn area is beautiful. People have been very friendly, especially when I say, mein Deutsch ist nicht sehr gut. We rented a car to drive from the airport in Frankfurt to our Airbnb in Lichtenau. At first we had reserved a seat Ibiza, a compact car. Then the rental agent saw our luggage and laughed, so we upgraded to an Opel Astra wagon for 20 euros more. Now we had plenty of room and a GPS too, which turned out to be mission critical. Alice did all of the driving, and sometimes torrential downpours, including some on the famous Autobahn. Like a champ. Our Airbnb apartment is really nice. Got kitchenette, we got beds, got TV entertainment center, got nice windows, got a nice bathroom. The village in Lichtenau where our Airbnb is called Grunsteinheim. There are farms all over. Our landlady even has chickens. Lichtenau has a lot of wind turbines, known as Windkraft, which some locals grumble about, but I could watch them all day. Our view from the windows is amazing. We have been taking the bus into Paderborn, which is only about a 20-minute ride. Once Alice gets her student ID, she can ride the bus for free. A regular Joe like me pays the €5 fare, But I'm a Hausfrau now, so I don't have to go in as often. The buses are really nice, though. A 20-minute bus ride in Germany sure beats a 45-minute commute to work in Jersey. We'll see where we live next. Maybe we'll be in Paderborn proper. I'll have more on the public transit in Germany in upcoming episodes. I've done a lot of walking in Paderborn while Alice gets settled at the uni. It's really neat, and once we found the chewy nougat center of town, it's been really great to walk around the shops and eat their interesting food and learn their ways. Here's the famous Rathaus. This is City Hall, not an actual rat house. Alice's hosts at the uni, Rolf, and his work group have been super friendly and helpful getting Alice ramped up with their program. She's going to be observing the summer bridging classes they have for their incoming first-year students who are weak at math. I'll check in on this in future episodes. This is Say Yesin to the Essen. It's been a week, and I can safely say I'm glad I ate that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Once we got through customs at the airport, we were hungry, and we thought it'd be a good idea to eat something before we got a rental car and left. So there we were. Our choices were McDonald's, or KFC, or Nordsee. We went with the local chain Nordsee over the local chain, by way of Kentucky, KFC. A couple of fried shrimp boxes and some fries, and we were on our way. So far, I've already had some Wiener Schnitzel, which is really good considering I don't normally eat veal. I've also had something called Doner, which is actually Turkish, but the Germans love it. The one I had was much like chicken shawarma with lettuce, cucumber, tomato, and that was also really delicious. It was also really big. I was full all day after that. One day for lunch I wanted some bratwurst, so I got something called Black Angel bratwurst at a local cafe in the Chewy Nougat Center. It was delicious. It was also really black. Another popular food here is frikadeller. One day I had it for lunch and dinner. My lunch one was similar to Swedish meatballs at IKEA, but like a giant Voltron of a Swedish meatball. The dinner one was even better, prepared by Alice's office mate Hauke. He and his wife had us over for dinner, and he grilled them in his Weber grill, or Weber if you like. I didn't get a picture of it because I ate it too fast for photography. But their adorable daughters drew us these pictures, so here's that instead. I've had a couple of donuts, including a long-awaited Berliner, but I won't see anything about it until I visit Berlin. I also had a really good Danish pastry-type thing called a Copenhagener at one of the chain bakeries. I thought I was getting something about the size of an index card when I ordered it, but it was more like a number 10 envelope. I had to finish it later, it was so much. Our first day, our Airbnb host gave us fresh eggs from her chickens, and then later in the week, she gave us fresh honey. It was white instead of golden brown, not in a plastic bear like nature intended. There are plenty of other German foods I'm looking forward to eating, so we'll visit those in future episodes. I'm happy to take any suggestions from the viewing public. I'd like to close the show by adding some mustard. In Germany, their version of adding one's 2 cents is adding one's mustard. When I was packing for the year, I thought I'd try to blend in a little with the locals, so I brought some German brand sneakers. Then I get here and see that people are wearing Converse Chuck Taylor sneakers everywhere. Low tops, high tops, most especially white Chucks. I've seen them everywhere I've been. If I had known that, I might have brought my own. I'm always interested in American culture that other countries import, so you may see similar things like this in this segment in future episode. A Fish on the Dry is a Meteorite production. Sound and visual images by me, Wright Seneres. For more information, you can go to the website, afishonthedry.com. I tweet and Instagram at DinoWright, if Twitter and or Instagram is your thing. This show is not affiliated or sponsored by the Fulbright Commission, Universität Paderborn, or anyone else but me. Coming up next on A Fish on the Dry, I'll have a report about our trip to Marburg for Fulbright orientation and more. Look for it on October 2nd. Thanks for watching.